it's my turn to read you a Christmas story today, and I've got a story, it's one of my favourites, called A Bad Start for Father Christmas. Father Christmas woke up late. He looked out of the window. It was snowing. It was always snowing. Christmas Eve today, said Father Christmas. He jumped out of bed and touched his toes. Under his bed he could see a toy car. Someone might like that, he said, and he put the car into his spare sack. He went into the bathroom to wash his face and brush his teeth. When he pulled back the shower curtain, he was surprised to find a large drum. My gnomes are getting careless, Father Christmas said. He tapped the drum with his toothbrush and dropped it into the sack. Then he put on his clothes, red pants, a long white shirt, a red jacket, and a hat trimmed with fur, an enormous pair of red trousers. Now for the boots, he said. Perhaps I ought to have new boots next year. I need a good breakfast today, said Father Christmas. It's my special day. He went into the kitchen and made himself a huge breakfast. It's getting late, he said, and ate his breakfast very quickly. Someone had left a teddy bear in the cupboard. Father Christmas put it in the sack. Then he remembered something he had forgotten. My mittens, he cried. Where are my mittens? I can't go without them. He felt in his jacket pockets, but they weren't there. He felt in his front trouser pockets, but they weren't there either. Bother, said Father Christmas. I'll have to search the place, and I'm late already. He took the lift down to the workshop. Have you seen my mittens? He asked the gnome who worked the lift. No, FC, said the gnome, but I did find something in the lift today. He held up a wind-up mouse. Father Christmas dropped the mouse into the sack in the workshop. The gnomes were busy. Father Christmas had to shout, I can't find my mittens! But everyone was too busy to pay any attention to him, and they were too busy to see the small doll by the lift. You look lost, said Father Christmas, and he put the doll into the sack. The next place to visit was the paint shop. Father Christmas knocked on the door. He opened a crack and a jet of blue paint shot past and landed on the wall. Sorry, FC, said the gnome with the blue hands and face. What can we do for you? I'm looking for my mittens, said Father Christmas. They're red. I know that. They're not here, he added, and if they were, they'd be blue by now. He handed Father Christmas a bright blue trumpet and shut the door. Sweet factory next, said Father Christmas. It was his favourite place. One of the gnomes gave him a stick of rock. I'm too full to eat it now, he said. I'll put it in the sack for safekeeping. Then he shouted above the noise, has anyone seen my mittens? But no one answered. Father Christmas was getting worried. I might have left my mittens in the packing room, he said. Perhaps they've been wrapped up by mistake. When he put the nose round the door, all he could see was a mountain of paper and ribbon and sticky tape. Mittens, he said hopefully. Red mittens? One of the gnomes emerged from the mountain. All the mittens are stripy this year, he said. No plain mittens at all. One plain blue, not plain green, not plain blue, not plain green, not plain yellow, and not plain red, interrupted Father Christmas. Oh dear. Then he saw a bag of chocolate coins on the door. That doesn't need wrapping, he said, and it shouldn't be on the floor. The storerooms had boxes full of presents stacked up to the ceiling, all neatly labelled. Father Christmas caught sight of something red behind one of the stacks, but it was only a yo-yo. This hasn't got a label, he said to the storekeeper. Okay, take it away, said the storekeeper. I don't know what to do with it. Father Christmas looked at his watch. There's not much time left, he said. Where can those mittens have gone? Then he had an idea. He hurried on the corridor, unbolted the boiler room door. He switched on the light and went carefully down the steps. No mittens in here, said Father Christmas, searching for a few minutes. He scrambled up the steps and slipped on a shiny whistle which lay at the top step. What a place to leave it, he said. Now it was time to feed the reindeer. After the boiler room, the stable felt very cold. Father Christmas clapped his hands together to warm them up. Bother those mittens, he said. Where can they be? He gave the reindeer an extra large dinner. Do you know where my mittens are? He asked. The reindeers munched their hay and didn't answer. Of course you don't, said Father Christmas. A bright yellow ball lay on top of one of the haystacks. We really have to be very untidy this year, said Father Christmas, and he put the ball into the sack. The last place to look was the shed where Father Christmas kept his sledge. It was busy being polished They were busy polishing the paintwork. All ready, FC, they asked. Not at all, said Father Christmas. He was beginning to panic. I can't find my mittens. If I can't find my mittens, I can't drive. And if I can't drive my sledge, there won't be any Christmas. The gnomes gasped. One of them jumped into the sledge. Perhaps they're down behind the seat, he said. There's something here. What is it? Let's see, shouted Father Christmas. They held up a painted fan. Oh, said Father Christmas. Oh, dear. Put the fan into the sack, walked slowly back to the house. The sack was very heavy. Father Christmas slumped down in a chair in the hall. He felt miserable. Next year we have to be more organised, he said. If there is a next year, he added gloomily. At that moment, the group of gnomes came rushing up in a panic. We're the counters, said one lot of them. And we're the checkers, said the other lot. And we're at 1 sack short, they all shouted together. We haven't got enough presents to go round. And I can't drive the sledge because I can't find my mittens, said Father Christmas. Your mittens are in your back pocket, FC, said one of the counters. That's where you always put them. Father Christmas stood up. He felt his back pocket and there was one red mitten. He felt in his other pocket and there was a second red mitten. Father Christmas smiled a big smile. You've solved my problem, he said. And I think I can solve yours. Is this what you're looking for? They were amazed. They all spoke at once. What on earth, where did you find them? All over the place, said Father Christmas. In the bedroom and in the bathroom and in the kitchen and in the lift, in the workshop, in the paint shop, in the sweet shop, in the packing room, in the store, and in the bottom, in the stable, in the sheds, and in the hall, cried one of the gnomes, holding up a toy boat he had found under Father Christmas's chair. And now, said Father Christmas, I must be off or I shall be late. 1 minute to go. He picked up the sack, put on his big red mittens and went outside. The snow had stopped. It's going to be a fine night after all, said Father Christmas. And he sped off into the darkness. Merry Christmas, shouted the gnomes. But Father Christmas was too far away to hear them. Merry Christmas, Clockhouse.